All right. Hello, it's a live stream. I feel really weird about this live stream because before I even started, a thing came up on the screen that said, "Is this content for kids? Do you want to restrict it to people over 18?" And that's weird because I've never been asked that on a live stream. I've never been asked that on a video. It's very, very strange. So I get why it's being done. I watched a Philip DeFranco episode where they were talking about all the new regulations that the FCC is doing in terms of content on YouTube if it's aimed at kids. But I don't see why my channel would be flagged for that because it absolutely is not made for kids. The children can watch, but it's not made for kids. But it's weird that that came up on the live. So hey guys, it's me Charlotte360 and I am back from the DMV. Hello. And I want to just talk a little bit about my trip because I'm sure you guys are wondering, how was your trip? How was Super M? So let me adjust this a little bit because it's cutting off my forehead. Ah, there we go.
Super.
Go ahead. Okay, so I went to the DMV to see Super M, and I need to clarify that I went to the DMV. It's very important that I clarify that because they were not in Washington, D.C. No matter what their concert poster said, they were not in Washington, D.C., they were in Virginia. I flew into Baltimore. I ended up in 3 different kinds of states of government during my trip because I think DC is considered a commonwealth, so it's not its own state, but it's not just a city. I was in Baltimore, which makes Maryland, and because I flew into Baltimore, and then I also was in Virginia because that's where the concert was. So there you go. Congratulations for seeing them in New York. I bet that was a lot of fun. It's so cool that they sold out Madison Square Garden. But anyway, I need to talk about this trip. I need to talk about this trip for several different reasons, and you hear Stephanie eating dessert in the background. Just ignore the sounds of
It's
deliciousness.
delicious.
Shut up. Anyway, I need to talk about this trip because I met up with Shawwell 5. And for those of you who have been following me for a length of time, you may know about my friendship with Shawwell 5 because I mention her on and off on my channel all the time, like continuously. There are a few people that I mention on my channel quite a bit. I mention her, I mentioned Jade, Angels 2014, who was also at the concert with us. I mention Mason all the time. I mention Tarian and Alex several times. I mention a lot of people a lot. But I mention Shawwell 5 all the time, and of the people that I just mentioned, she is the only one that I have never met. And she's also my oldest YouTube friend. She was one of the first people to ever comment on any video I ever made back when I had like 1 or 2 videos on my channel. That's how long we've known each other. And I've made literally a couple hundred videos for this channel, I think. So it's been a long time coming. I'm so glad I got to meet her. We were supposed to meet up at a halfway point between where she was and where the airport was. And I got out the car and she got out of her car and we saw each other and we hugged and then just proceeded to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Like the conversation never stopped. A lot of it did have to revolve around K-pop, of course, but we talked about her job hunt. We talked about her family. We talked about K-pop. We talked about just a ton of things, and it was like meeting somebody that you were already friends with. Like there was no gap there. Like, oh, I'm shy. I need to get to know you. No, it was constantly, just like we know each other, so let's just talk because now we don't have to worry about trying to get the typing thing going. So it was just really beautiful to be able to meet her in person. And she is everything that I thought she would be and more. Like, honestly, if she was about 10 years older, I would make her my wife. Like, I love her. I love her. She's so perfect. She's just like, she's super generous of spirit. She's extremely kind. She's a light. She is a light. And I'm just really glad that I got to meet her because it confirms a lot of things about the way I feel about online friendships. Because people talk shit about, oh, well, how do you know? Because you've only talked to each other online and you've never spent time in their presence. And yeah, dating, I could see maybe not so much, but there's something about a friendship with a person that in some ways it's deeper than dating because when you go into dating with the agenda. The agenda of dating is I want to meet somebody that I can have a romantic future with. A lot of times when you meet friends, you don't go into it with an agenda. You meet somebody cool, you start talking, you get to know them more, and then one day you realize this person is somebody that I would like to have in my life long term. Like they're just saying and doing the things that make me believe we need to be together for a really long time in whatever shape or form it's going to take. And I think that's one of the things that's the saddest about friendship is that when you develop a friendship with people, normally it's super organic. Either you're in the same place at the same time or you find each other through common interest, work, friendships, whatever. But when we go into friendships, a lot of the time, we don't ever think about how that friendship will end, when it will end, why it will end. And people agonize over ending romantic relationships. Like they're just like, I've put so much time into it, I've invested so much, and I'm not sure. But when it comes to friendships, people are so quick to end a friendship over stupid shit, over things that make no sense, over just the worst crap. And I can't imagine after meeting Jazzy, us ending our really? That's what we do?
No.
Us ending our friendship over something trivial and me not working on it. Like I realized, especially after meeting her, she is somebody that I need to have in my life for many more years. Like we need to still know each other 10 years from now. Absolutely. So I wanted to make sure I talked about that because I know that for a few of you that watch my channel, you have online friends who you may not have met, and you've been debating about whether or not you should take the leap to meet them, if maybe y'all should do a concert meetup or something like that. Go for it. Now, I will give you the caveat that, in terms of sharing room accommodations and stuff like that, maybe hold off on that right away because financial investment can be a little bit hairy with a stranger. But yeah, if you can meet up and it doesn't cost much to meet up, or you're not going to put yourself at risk for being in a new town, strange places, do it. Do it. It's so worth it. I've met Tarian in person. He's been fucking amazing. I met Mason in person. Fucking amazing. I met Jade in person. I let Jade stay at my house. Fucking amazing. Like, I have yet to be disappointed by people in real life. Speaking of disappointed in real life, I want to apologize to Lami because I met Lami, who is a frequent commenter on my live streams. And when I met her, she said my name. And I've never seen Lami's face. So I was like, oh, hello, would you like a banner? Because I was passing out banners. And she's like, it's me. And I'm like, huh? She's like, it's me, Lami. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Lami. So I went up to her and I immediately gave her a hug and, talked her ear off and everything else. And I could tell that things were a little bit awkward. I'm not sure if they were awkward because, like, I gave her too much puppy energy, or if they were awkward because I hugged her and I didn't ask for her permission to hug her. So I got into her personal space too quickly. I'm not sure what it was, but I just want to say I'm sorry if you were disappointed in meeting me because I'm not nearly as attractive in person as I am on camera. But also, I don't know how. I don't know how to meet people. Like, I'm just not good at that. I'm really good at, like, customer service driven interactions, like, hello, how can I help you, this is what you need, whatever. But in terms of, like, just trying to organically give energy to people and respond likewise or in kind, that's a very difficult thing for me. And so, Lami, I'm sorry if I made things terrible for you. It wasn't my intention, but it was really cool meeting you, and I hope that you have fond memories of our interaction, even if it was super duper awkward. So let me get to the reason why you guys are tuned in mostly, besides my friendship tales. Super M. I want to caveat this video by saying I loved every bit of Super M, but I am honest to a fault. So I'm going to give you my impressions of things, and if you would like to disagree, leave a message in the comments below. But I'm just going to tell you, I've been to enough concerts by now for me to give a fairly accurate reading as to how I feel about most things, and there's going to be very little you can tell me that's going to change my mind, because it's my opinion, so fuck it. Anyway, I have to say, first off, that it's obvious that money was spent when it comes to SM promoting Super M. Like the stages had nice graphics in the background, and the lighting was really nice. So all those things were brilliant. I really, really enjoyed that. What I did not enjoy, hey Lupe, what I did not enjoy were a few things that I personally consider to be cash grab moves. Hold on a second. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, I need you to go into my room and get the backpack that I took on my trip and bring it out here. Like, be careful picking it up because it's open and there's stuff in there that I need out. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I have visual aids I need to show you guys, and that is the reason why I'm having to go get my backpack from the trip. It's obvious to me, and anyone who attended this concert, anyone who bought these tickets, that this was a cash grab. And I think because of the ever-present feeling of this is a cash grab, it really made a lot of us not as excited about this as we could have been. You know, it was, they announced the tour, I want to say like about a month before I'm actually in the venue. So first of all, that was super awkward because it was trying to find accommodations, it was trying to find plane tickets, it was trying to buy concert tickets. Like, it was a really thin margin between when the concert was announced and we were actually like asses to seats. So that was a thing that kind of dampened the mood, because it's like, can I even do this since it's so incredibly short notice? The next thing that dampens the mood is the merch. I've got two examples here of merch that I'm going to share with you guys because I've been reading. I haven't even opened one thing because I've been waiting to share it with you guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this. This is the Super M photo card packet. Now, mine has a crease here because I had it shoved in my backpack. So, I mean, it's to be expected. But I want you to see how cheap this looks. This is the merch. Now, I've gotten card packs before from SM for a lot of different things. I've gotten card packs that came in boxes. I've gotten card packs that came in the little zippered pouches that you can open and close. I've never gotten a clear cellophane closed with a staple. Come on, guys. And it doesn't even have the official SM sticker on it anywhere. But I know this is legit merch because this was purchased at the venue. So there's no way this is bootleg. It's purchased at the merchandise booth. So I haven't even opened it yet because I have no idea what's going on in here. And I wanted to wait till I was on camera. But I'm looking through here. And I'm just going to tell you right off. Yeah. So this is the front of one of the cards. Hope you can see it. Maybe not. I don't know. And this is the back. This is Super M. For certain cards, you have a kind of a little sign thing in the back. And then other of the cards in the back, it just says Super M, not even in color. The pictures are nice. They're not selfies. They didn't have time to give you selfies. Instead, they gave you like backstage candids. They're printed really, really light. Like, the images are almost overexposed, if you will. Just to give you an example of how overexposed they are, look at this picture of Tin. One of his eyes is almost gone. You can barely see the bridge of his nose. This is not the lighting in my house. This is the lighting from the photo card. Real talk. It's just... This is worth $20 maybe if you're like gonna break it up and sell certain members to friends. But like, yeah, this is not printed well. This is not printed well. This feels cheap. This feels cheap. So that's an example of one cheap thing that was merchandise driven. Another cheap thing, which I don't have because I refuse to spend the money, was the brochure for the concert. So most concerts have concert booklets. Concert booklets normally are about yay big, SM normally does concert booklets about this big. I've shown on my channel where I've had SM concert booklets before, and they're the size of a large magazine. The concert booklet that came with this concert, I kid you not, was this big. This big. I have an example of something that's around the same size. This. See this card right here? This is a freebie from Choice Music. The concert pamphlet was this size. It had only 20 pages. That's ridiculous. SM could do way better. And it was $20 as well. So you get a pack of photo cards that you could at least split up with your friends to maybe make it worth the 20 bucks. Or you could get a pamphlet that of course you're not going to split up with friends for $20, basically paying $1 a page. That is ridiculous. And then this is the last thing I'm going to show you an example of cheap merchandise. This is a box from a light stick from the concert. And I know you're going to see this box and think, oh, Samantha bought the light stick. Fuck you, no, I didn't. I sure did not. The reason I have this box is because at the concert, as I was walking out of the venue, I saw literally dozens of these boxes on the ground. Because this box houses a light stick that at the venue cost $60 damn dollars. $60. Stephanie, I need you to do me another favor. Stephanie! I need you to do me another favor. Can you go to my bookshelf and get my shiny cylinder?
Your shiny cylinder?
The cylinder that has my light stick, the big white one. Top shelf, right side.
Oh.
My shiny cylinder. Do they teach y'all geometry at that damn school?
No.
Thank you.
They teach us how to donate, though.
Okay. Thank you. This, you guys, is what I'm calling my shiny cylinder. This is the cylinder that my official shiny light stick comes in. You take off the top here, and this is how my light stick is housed. I bought this light stick not too long after it came out. I bought it from the SM Global shop. I paid $35 plus shipping for this light stick in this housing. This is the box that the Super M light stick comes in. It is shorter. It is more narrow. It is not nearly as embellished or pretty. This box housed a $60 light stick. This is a $35 light stick. This is the housing for a $60 light stick. Personally, I'm offended that people had to pay $60 for this. The only thing that makes it not look bootleg is the fact that it has an SM official sticker on the back, which is honestly surprising because the photo cards didn't have an official sticker to come on the back. This is ridiculous, SM. Now, I get it. You're having problems because the shareholders want dividends and you need to come up with some cash real quick. So you decide to pull all your best boys together, put them out on the road, make them get daddy that money, and then go on. But this is not fair. This is not fair, especially because I know that they couldn't have designed this light stick and put it into production and had it ready in a month. There's no flipping way. When they were talking about doing Super M, somebody had to be like, if we're doing a light stick, we need time to go ahead and make sure that we got all the electrical engineering together, we have all of the shape together, all that stuff, and then send it to production, get the prototypes back, make sure that they work the way they're supposed to, check for any safety concerns, then go back to the manufacturer and have them put in a mass order of, 5,000 or whatever it is we're talking about. There is no flipping way that they would have spent the money to design this and think that it's fair to give you this kind of quality box for $60, but this is what you get for $35. It makes no sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't. So, yeah, that kind of set a mood for the venue because a lot of people felt like they were being taken advantage of. And there's merch that I don't have here because frankly, I just don't have the money. And so there was no way I was going to be able to show it to you. But they had super thin jackets. And when I say jackets, I mean like jackets, satin jackets with like cuffs and buttons down the front for like $125. It was freezing the day that we were out there, like super duper cold. Those jackets, every single person I saw wearing a jacket had on a hoodie or a sweatshirt or a long sleeve or another jacket underneath it because it was so fucking cold. Also, thank you for the size inclusivity, SM, because the biggest size you went up to was an XL. So, like, even if you're a smaller girl who likes baggier clothes, wasn't a fucking option because XL was basically the biggest size they went to. So I couldn't buy a shirt even though I was willing to pay for it. Didn't buy a shirt even though she probably would have been willing to pay for it. Jessica didn't buy a shirt even though she probably would have been willing to pay for it. And I know Jade didn't get a shirt because we did not have the size option. So, I mean, that put a damper on a lot of things for me because I just really felt like they could have been more prepared. Other things that weren't prepared, they didn't have any plan for the line tending for the concert. So people were everywhere trying to figure out where the hell they were. You know, a lot of people were like, okay, is this the VIP line? Wait, there's 2 VIP lines? Okay, if I have VIP, but I decided not to come for sound check or I didn't come early, can I get into this main line? Like, it was rumors, basically. Everything that transpired in terms of information for people in line was rumors. And so it was very difficult for people to know where they needed to be. And we were passing out banners because Jazzy and Jessica had printed their own banner for the concert. I actually have the banner. I'll show it to you. Wow, they gave y'all black plastic bags. Bitch, I would have told them, here is my address. Mail me my tote when it's ready to be printed. Like, I'm the kind of person that I'm definitely a let me speak to your manager, and I hate that I'm that way, but it's just the truth. If I had shown up to a concert where part of my $200+ is that I get a tote bag and they handed me a black plastic bag, I'd be like, okay, well, you have my address because you had to get it for my ticketing information. I need you to go ahead and send my tote bag to my house. I'm not leaving this venue until somebody confirms that they're going to be shipping my shit to me. Because I didn't pay for a black plastic bag. I paid for a tote bag. Make it happen. But anyway, this is the banner that we passed out. So this is the front of the banner. And then this is the back of the banner. So we're passing out banners. And we're at this one corner of the stadium where we would be out of the way of all the lines. I cannot tell you how many times people came up to us in line and were like, do you know where this line is? Do you know where that line is? Do you know where merch is? Because they were looking for anybody at a central point who could give out information so people would know where to go and what to do. And there was none of that for this concert. It was basically like stand by a door and hope for the best. So it was very, very difficult. Yeah, it's $55 on their official online shop, but they announced the light stick on their official online shop so close to the date of the first concert that no one who wanted to use their light stick at the concert would have utilized the option of getting it mailed to them because there wasn't enough time. There just absolutely wasn't enough time. So yeah, they didn't have any coordination in terms of where people needed to be, what they needed to be doing. Like, it was a fucking mess. And so SM, I get that you need money. I get that you need money, but you need to also keep in mind the people that are giving you money. People came from all around the country to come to this concert. There were people that were living in the DMV area, people who drove up to the DMV, people like myself who flew from Colorado to the DMV to go see this concert. People came from Korea to see this concert. I saw a girl walking around the arena in head-to-toe Chanel. And when I say Chanel, baby, I'm not talking about bootleg Chanel. I'm talking about off-the-runway haute couture Chanel. It was a bitch in a blue suit, and I recognized it was head to toe Chanel because I actually am a big fan of Karl Lagerfeld, and she had on that big white flower with the black bow, and she must have crisscrossed that outside of that stadium 20 or 30 times. I saw her so many times. She had the Chanel headband, the Chanel earrings, the Chanel jacket, the Chanel pants, the Chanel shoes. Like, she was loaded down. And if somebody spent the kind of money that she did, she probably had on a $6,000 outfit. She probably paid several $1,000s to fly into the United States from Korea. And she was walking around like she was lost. Like, she didn't know where the fuck she was supposed to be or where she was going to go. That's how disorganized it was. Oh, also, I would like to give a small side note here before I get into the concert too. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that when we go to concerts, we all want to be cute, because there is the off chance that our fanfic fantasies will come true and somebody's manager or personal assistant will see us in the crowd and say, that's the one that we need to bring backstage. That's the one that Taman wants to get to know a little bit better. But, bitch, it was 30 degrees outside. It was 30 degrees outside. People were walking around in mini skirts, tank tops, off the shoulder shirts, dookie shorts. Like, people were walking around like it was the summertime. And I'm just thinking to myself, where did you think we were going in November? Like, I would understand if it was like a freak snowstorm in the middle of like March or May. Baby, it's November. And the girls that were Korean girls walking around in little booty skirts and stuff, you can't tell me it's because they're from another country, because we're in the northern hemisphere, both the United States and Korea. It's winter there too. I've seen photographs. People in those big old thermal coats. What the fuck were y'all doing in mini skirts and heels? Oh my gosh. We started passing out banners a bit after 2 o'clock, like closer to 2:30 maybe. The doors to the venue didn't open until, 7 perhaps? People were outside for hours with no clothes on. What is wrong with y'all? I get you want to be cute. Put on a cute sweater. Throw on a really cute coat. Put on some cute tennis shoes if you're going to be standing in line. We saw a girl dressed like Storm from X-Men. Had on a head-to-toe leather ensemble with stiletto heels and was walking like a newborn chicken because them feet was hurting. What are y'all doing? What is this life? Did y'all get hopped up on some kind of special warming drug before y'all went outside? Because I would have left that theater with pneumonia. It was ridiculous. And like I said, I get it. We all want to be cute. But it is Virginia in November. Why are you dressed like this? There was literally a girl about 4 people down from us when we were in line waiting to get into the stadium that had on a tank top. I could see her bra strap because her tank top was so thin. And I'm in a real, zipped up, hood up. I am really in a jacket. Like, you can go to my Twitter feed. You can see I was zipped up. I had on jeans and I had leggings under my jeans because I was cold. And I had a sweater under my jacket. And there's a girl 4 people behind me in a tank top. We got to get it together, y'all. I mean, the hope is that you got laid that night. Like, that's what I wish for all of you. For all of you who went out there dressed in your slut day finest, I hope you got fucked. I hope you totally got fucked. But if you didn't, let this be a lesson to you. Dress appropriately. Dress for the weather. Please do, because I'm sure some of y'all lost a toe that night. Some of y'all are currently wandering the earth without a pinky toe. But I think I've said everything I need to say about what happened before the concert. Let's jump into the concert itself. So I have pictures on my Twitter of the area where I was at, so you can see what my vantage point was for the concert. The concert itself was in a venue that made it to where the seats we had were fairly good seats. I mean, we were kind of a higher up tier, but still we could see a lot of stuff, and that made it a very pleasant experience. We were definitely closer to the second stage than the first stage, but when the performance of No Manners came out and when some of the individual stages happened, that was actually a really great place to be for performance. So I wasn't mad at that at all. They didn't do a lot of playing with the crowd before the show, which I also appreciated, because when I went to go see BTS, they were like playing videos and doing a lot of stuff like ahead of time to make you think, ooh, the concert is starting right now. Ooh, the concert is starting. Ooh, it's starting right now. They didn't do that at all. Like, they basically played one song, which was Jopping, and then the lights went down and the concert VCR began. Like, it was right into the action, which I very much appreciated. So went right into the action. Concert VCR comes on. In case you don't know who the members of Super M are, they went ahead and they played a little spiel so you'd know who all the different members are. And then we get right into I Can't Stand the Rain. And when they came out, it felt like magic. Like, I felt like there was nothing on the stage, and all of a sudden the smoke clears and there's people on the stage. So that was really nice. Like, just get into it. Don't tease us. Don't play with us. Don't get people standing up and hollering and screaming and losing their voice for no reason. Get right into it. I Can't Stand the Rain was great. It was a great performance. Really, really good. You know, everybody seemed like they were on the move. And then it felt like in no time at all after the first song, all of a sudden it's Taemin's solo stage. And I was really surprised. Like, it felt like the transitional period was nothing. No, like, hey guys, it's us, Super M. That didn't come until quite a bit into the actual show. But yeah, they come out, dance super hard to I Can't Stand the Rain, and then all of a sudden, Taemin is doing Danger. It was quite shocking. Also, side note, Taemin had on one of the most beautiful jackets I've ever seen in life. And it wasn't a super elaborate jacket. It was a black jacket with silver trim, but the trim had, like, I don't know, long beads on it, and it caught the light in a certain way, and it looked like he was trimmed in diamonds. It was absolutely stunning. But he's a beautiful man, so it's to be expected. So they finish I Can't Stand the Rain. All of a sudden, Taemin is performing Danger, which I hadn't heard Danger in years, so it was really fun to see that performance because I never expected to see that live. And then immediately after that, they go into Sayonara Hituri. Sayonara Hituri, I will be honest with you, I feel like that is a performance that was not best suited for this particular venue, for this particular show. I will tell you why. Taemin always kills it every single time he gets on the stage. Not a doubt, that's what he does. It is his life's goal to slaughter the stage and come away with blood on his hands and his feet. But Sayonara Hituri is more of kind of interpretive modern dance style. When you watch it, there's a lot of, grand gestures and flowing movements and then stopped at staccato, that kind of stuff. And he does a fair amount of stage travel with it, but there's small intimate movements in that choreography that unless you're pretty close to him, you miss it. And even if you see it on a big screen, you lose a lot of the intimacy of the performance if you're not looking directly at him. And so I felt like in a venue where you need to do a performance that broadcasts both in person to the people up at the top and to the people watching the view screen, that wasn't the performance I would have used. I think that the Danger performance was really good. I think that if I was going to pick a song for Taemin to do for the secondary performance that was a more like crowd pleasing performance, I would have gone with something else. I think I probably would have gone with maybe not Pressure Number, because that's a lot of effort. Pressure Number is a lot of effort. What would I have gone with? Maybe Want. Want would have been good. I would have appreciated Want in that spot. That would have been a great spot to put Want. So yeah, I think that would have been really nice. But yeah, I just think that Sayonara Hituri wasn't the performance. Or you know what would have been really cool? If Taemin needed a break. Like if he was dancing too hard, and that's why they're like, we want to do Sayonara Hituri because the tempo was a little bit slower. bigger movements, stuff like that, that would have been a great time for Taemin to sing a song, like a ballad or something else. Because it didn't even sound like he was singing when he did Danger. And maybe it's because he wasn't feeling well. I think he was still getting over his illness because he did not look well when we saw him in person either. But I think if Taemin had done a song that maybe would have been slower, he could have sang Soldier because a lot of people really love Soldier. So that would have been a good song to put out there. Yeah, he could have done that and just kind of slowed it down a little bit. Or even done a performance of Thirsty. Like, Thirsty has a nice low tempo. The choreography on it is a little bit slower. So, yeah, he could have followed up Danger with Thirsty, especially because, like, the audience, the ladies, like, could you imagine if Taemin decided to do Thirsty in a stadium full of thirsty fangirls? Like, come on. Come on. So I just think, like, song choice wise, I think the song is fine. I just think that the performance was a more intimate performance than what befits an arena of that size. And I feel bad saying that because he's performed that like in dome-sized concerts. So obviously it's a crowd pleaser. I just think that it would have fit better to do something else. But yeah, if he'd done Thirsty, woo! Woo! So Taemin did first solo, and then they did another performance. I think was Too Fast after that. I cannot remember. Too Fast was super enjoyable. I remember really loving the staging for Too Fast. One thing I will say about the performances of the group, when I first talked to you guys about how I felt first impression of the Super M album, I did tell everybody that I felt like the Super M album was a song on the album for every group that's involved. So I was like, okay, Too Fast is the SHINee song, Supercar is the NCT song, I Can't Stand the Rain is the EXO song. I said that when I first reviewed the album. Watching the stage for Too Fast and seeing that it doesn't include all the members, because that was another thing. When you listen to the album, it's not completely obvious that not every member is involved in every song because there's background vocals, but you don't ever think about, like, am I hearing everybody's voice in the background vocals? When they did certain stages, only certain members came out to perform those songs. So that's the reason why I say I feel like Too Fast could have been a SHINee song, because when we saw the performance, I think only 4 people performed that song. If I'm right, I feel like I'm right about that. I think only 4 people performed that song, which made me even more clear in my mind this could be a SHINee song, because Minho doesn't get to do a lot of singing in songs, so it would have been perfect for him. So that was interesting to see. The song that I told you that I felt like could be on anybody's album, No Manners, I was right about that too, because they had one member from every single group in the stage for No Manners. So No Manners, it was Taemin, Kai, Taeyong, and Ten. And when I tell you that stage was nasty, that stage was nasty. Find you a good fan cam if you can. There's lots of really good fan cams out there. The people in the VIP section were very generous about videotaping everything. There is a point in Taeyong's verse of No Manners where he is literally humping the ground, one leg kicked up in the air, pelvis impregnating the linoleum. Like, it is really nasty. Really, really nasty. And I'm here for it. All day, every day. All day. But yeah, No Manners was disgusting and delightful, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Please do it again. Please do it again. But yeah, there was that. And then individual, I will talk a little bit about everybody's individual stages. Okay, so I talked about Taemin's individual stage. Let's talk about Taeyong's individual stage. Taeyong had an individual stage with a song that I really wasn't too familiar with. But he performed it, and I really liked the acting portion of his stage. Like, he had one moment where he was like fake coughing in the song to like transfer to another part of the song, and then at the end of his performance he was drug away from the stage. But what stood out to me in his performance is something that I feel like doesn't get displayed enough when he's doing performances with NCT that I think that they need to display more of, and that's his potential for being a fuckboy extraordinaire. So from what I've heard about Taeyong, he's a very nice boy. Even though he had some scandal in the beginning with people saying that, he was an eBay fraud and that he was a little bit of a punk. From what I've heard from people who follow him closely, he's got a very nice personality. He's just a really sweet boy. His performance screamed fuckboy. Like, he was hopping around the stage and giving like big, rapper energy. But the whole time, I'm imagining him like smirking because I'm too far away to really see his face very good. But like, for some reason, I'm just like, he seems like the kind of guy that would ask you on a date, and when it's time to pay the bill, he'd be like, oh shit, I lost my wallet at the house. Hey girl, can you get this for me? I promise I got you back. Like, that's the energy he was giving me on the stage. And I feel like they don't display that energy enough for him in the context of the NCT universe. I think they need to give us more of that. He had on a mask for only about, I would say, 20 to 30 seconds. He did not have the mask on for most of the performance that we saw. He starts out the routine with a mask, and then he takes it off about, like I said, 20 or 30 seconds in, and the rest of the performance is just him. But, and the mask was really pretty. It was like covered in diamonds. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. But yeah, I just feel like they need to give us more of his like cheeky energy. For some reason, whenever Taeyong does NCT stuff, they always make him come across as like super serious leader man. And I get it because that's kind of the role they let him play so that the other people can be more playful. But I feel like there's something in his spirit that's saying, let me smile. Put me out there and let me smile. Let me get the girls gagging. Especially because when he did his performance of Baby Don't Stop with 10, you could see on their faces that they were totally doing what they wanted to do. I'm jumping around performances here. Sorry about that. It's been a long few days. So during the performance of Baby Don't Stop, they were giving it to the girls. Like, they were giving you everything you wanted. They were giving you body touches and hip rolls, and they were giving you fan service. And oh, that's okay. Tell your sister I said hi. They were giving each other like, face touches and like, I'm reeling you in, all that kind of stuff. But he smiled a lot in the performances for Baby Don't Stop. Taeyong smiled almost the entire time, but it was like a smirky, like, yeah, I know I'm hot, girls, kind of smile. And I'm like, why don't you get to have this energy in videos for NCT? Because whenever I've seen NCT videos, he always comes across so incredibly stern and like, just like always kind of giving you like Zoolander face. You don't have to do that. You're a really nice looking guy. Just be natural, So I think that they should give him more of that because he deserves. So the next stage I'm going to talk about, since we already mentioned his name, is 10. 10's individual stage. So going into the show, I didn't really know a lot about 10. I knew that 10 was a part of Wavy. I knew that he did Baby Don't Stop. I don't follow 10. So I don't have a real history for him. I don't have a real personal connection with him. I didn't really even pay attention to his face all that much prior to the show. When his stage came up, I immediately got the sense that he was one of those guys who was annoyingly handsome. Like, just gorgeous. I've been watching a lot of Thai boys love stuff recently, and he has that look of like that guy whose parents are rich and he normally dates girls, but this little twink boy caught his eye and all of a sudden he dates guys, but he's like still super smooth and the girls still won't get off of him anyway. Like, he has that look. He is so very perfect looking, and he has like the finest features. Like, his eyes are very fine, his nose is extremely well shaped. He is Thai. Okay, no wonder he looks like the guy from the Thai boys love shows. Like, I was looking at him like, oh my gosh, yes, he would be great for Fun and 2 Moons. See, some things go unspoken. You don't even have to know the history. Some things just go unspoken. It's a vibe. It's a feeling. It's in the air. Anyway, 10 comes out in this beautiful outfit. It is a white lace shirt, which means it's slightly see-through, long white pants, and a beautiful blue jacket. It's not a kimono. It's not a robe. I guess kind of a robe, but it's split in the back. And he's doing the most gorgeous arm things. And he's doing the most beautiful, well choreographed crotch thrusts. And it's really a beautiful performance. And I remember thinking to myself, this is art. This is nasty pornographic art, but this is art. And it made me want to know more about him. Like, of all the people who I may not have been as familiar with who did stages, his stage was at a point where I'm like, I need to know who this guy is. I need to know more about him. I'd like to follow his life. Because he captured me. Like, out of all the performances, Taemin I'm always going to give credit to because he is Taemin. 10 was the performance of, I didn't know you, and you did so much in your performance that I want to get to know you. I'd love to see you again. I'd like to see more projects with you. The only thing that I could say was a negative drawback for me is the fact that he doesn't have a very strong voice. His voice is very light and it doesn't come across super powerful. So that's the thing that I would say is a takeaway. But everything else for him, he gets mad bonus points for. But yes, did not know he was Thai. Now I will constantly think of scenarios to which he could be cast for boys love dramas. Make it happen, SM. This is an untapped market for you. Make it happen. Why aren't you doing? Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Like, think of all of the beautiful boys that come across SM's stable. If SM just decided, you know what we're doing? We're starting a boys love production company, and we're just going to be casting different guys for that. Because, okay, side note tangent, I have been watching a lot of boys love, and some of these companies, they are the ones who employ all of the cast for certain shows, and then the cast leaves the show and forms a group that does music videos and concert tours and stuff like that, and they get a lot of money touring the sea area to make money. So if SM was to put their energy into a boys love production company and they could still do the music thing but then make their musicians kiss each other for us, that would be great. I would pay for that. Like, it would be the missing link. It would be the thing that we kiss. Like, it would be the missing link. Thank you for letting me enjoy my mental vacation for a second there, guys. Okay, back to the shows. Okay, so the next person we should talk about, since their name was just brought up in the chat, is Lucas. Lucas is the other person that I didn't really have a strong connection with prior to the show because I don't really follow Wavy like that. I didn't really follow Lucas like that. Everyone has been saying Lucas is a baby Minho. In certain angles, yes. In other angles, no. He's still a gorgeous kid, and probably the best feature on his entire face is his teeth. He has one of the nicest sets of teeth I've seen in a really long time. And teeth is like my kryptonite. I love a good set of teeth, especially if the front teeth are a little bit bigger than the back teeth. Oh, I love me a good bunny. Anyway, you know who has really great teeth? And if you haven't been catching up with him lately, you should look it up. The kid who played Ned in Ned's Declassified, he's grown now. He still has those same teeth, but in like a grown man face. So good looking. Yes, it also explains Johan. So good looking. But anyway, again, I'm digressing. Lucas comes out to do his stage. So I think Lucas is cast as a rapper for his group. So I think his song was meant to be kind of a rap song. It came across as kind of like a Pitbull light type of experience. You know how Pitbull like kind of half sings, half raps his songs? Is anybody in the room familiar with Pitbull? Anyway, that was kind of the vibe I got from Lucas's performance. I think Lucas needs a little bit more time. I think he does his best work in the context of a group because honestly, the times that Lucas was on the stage where I couldn't keep my eyes off of him were the times when he was interacting with other members. Whenever Lucas was doing stuff with other members, it was like, oh wow, look at him. He's so gorgeous. He's got such beautiful long limbs. Oh, look at him being cute. When he was on stage by himself, I remember thinking, can they please send somebody out there to help him? Can somebody out there please go and help the baby? Because he's like smiling the whole time, and it just feels really weird because he's smiling so much. And then in the background, there's a guy doing this number, and it's just, I spent more time looking at the background than looking at him actually, because it was just a very strange, uncoordinated performance to watch. Also, they had him in a tremendously ugly outfit. It was a button up shirt that was like cheetah print, but it had denim shoulders and denim cuffs. You have to see pictures of it. It is way uglier than what I'm describing here. But yeah, like, I feel like Lucas probably has a really good personality because, like I said, when he's on the stage with other members, he shines. Like when he is interacting and, trying to do hearts and dances with people and hyping up the crowd, he's so good at it. But him by himself, he just seems a little bit lost to me. So I really wish that they would give him a bit more support. Okay, so the next two people I need to talk about, because we're running out of people here, I need to talk about Mark, Becken, and Kai. So I will talk about Mark first. I laughed so hard at Mark's stage, not because it was intentionally meant to be funny, but because Mark's stage was a rapidy rap stage. Like, you would think he was on Show Me the Money. It was like a total rapidy rap song. He rapped from start to finish, rapidy rap, rap, rap. Also, the dance he was doing, I leaned over to Jade and I said, is Mark sea walking? Watch his stage and tell me what you think. But I'm like, I feel like Mark is out here sea walking. And I don't know. Is he trying to be a West Coast rapper? I'm not sure. Gave off the vibe for sure. But I really like Mark as a person in terms of, like, I feel that he has good intentions. I wish he would quit saying the word like and because there was a VCR moment towards the end of the show where everybody was like talking about, thank you for allowing us to perform for you. Thank you for whatever. And they had subtitles because a lot of people were speaking in Korean. They put subtitles to Mark's section because this is him talking. Yeah, like it's a total dream for us to like be on the stage and like be able to talk to people and like have people just see us and do what we're doing, and like we're so grateful that you like wanted to come out, and like we just hope that we give you the performance that you're like looking for, and like yeah, just yeah, we really just want to make sure like you have a really good time, you guys, like you're really important to me. And yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, can you please stop? Can somebody please get him in front of like a speech coach, because you can't do this. You cannot do this. Like, as intelligent as I think Mark might be, him saying like all the time makes him sound hella dumb. So it was really, really difficult to not just chuckle anytime I saw him, because he's so funny to me. All right, so that's all I'm gonna say about Mark's portion. But he did a good job. It's just, it was hard because it was a song I was not familiar with, and it was a rapidy rap song. So it was very difficult to like get into the song because he's like rapping, and the chorus didn't really have a hook to it. So there you go. Becken stage. Becken decided to do a song called Betcha off of the City Lights album, and he did a song called You and Village off the City Lights album. Betcha, I thought, was a really good option for opening his segment. You and Village, again, it was a moment for me to laugh. So he does Betcha, and that causes him to like, kind of go around the crowd like, Betcha, na 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 na, Betcha. Yeah, it was good energy. You and Village, he goes back to the first stage, and he's singing it, and he's doing like body rolls and stuff. And I'm sorry, he's wearing the biggest white jacket and white pants. He looked like a 10-year-old trying to body roll. And I could not stop looking at him and thinking, that's why Taeyeon left you. Because no one can take you seriously when you look like a baby. You look like a child pretending to be an adult.
I'm not a baby.
I'm a man. So yeah, it was really funny because, like, again, he's got blonde hair, a white jacket, white pants, and he's doing this number while he's singing You in Village, but he looks like a tiny baby. He looks harmless. He looks like he's asking for pink milk. And so it was funny to me because I really wanted to take him seriously, but I could not. But I will say this for him. eats CDs for breakfast. Baekhyun sounds exactly like the album. Like, if you listen to the album, no difference. Nothing at all. Absolutely the same. Nothing changes. He sounds like the record. He should be proud of that because not everybody can say the same thing. But yeah, Baekhyun sounds exactly like the album. It is crazy how much he sounds like the album. So that was something to notice about his performance. And I was really glad I got a chance to confirm that he is exactly that way in concert. It makes me want to see EXO live because I would like to see him performing some of the other songs in the EXO catalog. But yeah, he did a really great job. I really appreciate it. The only thing that I guess would say is a down thing is that his songs represented kind of a lull in the energy of the concert because everybody else's songs were pretty much mid-tempo or up-tempo, and a lot of his music is very kind of like slow jammy R&B stuff. Like, there's a fan cam on Twitter of one of the cameramen who was filming Baekhyun doing UN Village. It's an older black guy, and he's like with the camera because he's like, yeah, that's my jam. And so it's funny to me. It's funny to me. All right, so lastly, we're going to talk about Kai. Kai did a song called Confession. Apparently, it's a song that he pulls out on XO tours and stuff. So it's a song that fans who pay close attention to non-album tracks should be very familiar with. I did this number so many times during Kai's performance because the performance was really about how many glimpses of Kai's nipples can we get. Like, really and truly. Like, he has a denim jacket on that he has buttoned right here. And he slowly starts to lose buttonage as the song goes on. And so you get glimpses of washboard abs. Sometimes he'll pull back the jacket and you get a glimpse of a dusky colored nipple and it'll go back over. And I was just like, Kai, this isn't fair. This isn't really fair. And I say it's not fair because Kai's more than that. Like, that was a thing that I guess I was very frustrated about, is that I feel like Kai is always seen as like the sex symbol kind of eye candy of EXO. And in Super M, Kai gets so many more lines than he would normally get in an EXO song. And during performances, he's on stage with people who are his dance equal. And so you could see him like really putting forth a lot of effort because the people around him are able to match his level so he doesn't have to dumb things down. Not that he dumbs things down for EXO, but like if he's not in the front of the choreography, he can't really just be knocking it out in the back because it's going to look weird. It's going to throw off the visuals. So that's why I'm saying, like, he's finally on stage with so many people who are his dance equal that I really thought that when he had his solo stage, they were going to allow him to do something that showed off his dancing abilities, because he's now in a place where he can really show the hell out. But no, it was like, hey ladies, I've got a surprise for you underneath my jacket. And I was just like, as I said, the whole time during his performance, I'm like, because I just really wanted better for Kai. I really wanted better. And of course, Jade is behind me like, woo! Yeah! Like, she's literally like right here. And I'm just like, because it's just, we've seen him. We've seen him. So I just want Kai to have a chance to express himself in a different way than just being like the sex object of a group. Because like when you look at a group like Super M, there are so many guys who are in that group that could be considered the visuals of their group. So like even that part of being in Super M takes the pressure off of Kai. You don't have to be the visual. You don't have to be the main dancer. You don't have to be the sexy one. You could just be Kai, whatever that really means. And it makes me wonder, like, what is Kai? You know, is that what he feels? Because then there's the part of Kim Jong-un who a lot of people talk about being super sweet and kind of ditzy and, you know, just a really cute, nice guy. And so I would like to see more of kind of what he would, I would like to see the foundation of what he's going to be when his knees give out. That's what I want. Like, I really would like to see Kai start to become the artist he would be if dance was no longer on the table. Because there comes a time in every dancer's life when you gotta slow down, you know. And so I'd like to see, well, what is there left for you when the dance is not a thing? Because Taman has already established himself as a singer as well. So that is the option for him when the dance goes away. Becken is vocal, so he doesn't have to worry about when the dance goes away because he's got the vocals. But what is Kai when the dance goes away? And I felt like this was a chance for him to do that, and that didn't happen. So that was a disappointment for me. I think I talked about all the stages. The Jopping stage was wonderful. It was the last song they performed. It was really, really great. They didn't try to tease us by being like, oh, we're going to turn off the lights. No, wait a second. The lights come back on. We're going to perform. No, they totally just, they did Jopping. Then they left. They did 2 other new songs. They did a song called, I think, Dangerous Woman. And they did another song that I cannot remember the name of, but it was the song where they throw the signed balls into the audience. There was no need to remember what the name of that song was because the song was not very interesting. It was one of those songs that you play because it's the encore part of the show, and I hope it doesn't appear on any albums because I didn't enjoy it. But they did what they do, which was have fun with each other. And that's what those kinds of songs are for. Those are the songs that you play when no one cares about choreography and you just want to have a chance for people to like laugh and smile and interact with the audience and interact with each other, give you fan service moments, stuff like that. Those songs are never intended for somebody to be like, and that is the song I want you to play at my funeral, please. They're just songs. Yeah, Taman hitting people with balls. Put it in your mouth. Sorry, just kidding. But anyway, yeah. Overall, I think it was a good show because of the artist involved in the show. If I had watched that show and it was any other artist who wasn't nearly as prepared on a professional level as these guys were, I would be highly disappointed. But for my $50, I got a really good show. So I have to say, I was not upset about the show at all. I thought that the show was a good show overall. There were just, like I said, a couple of weak points. I think Lucas needs more support. They need to figure out what to do with him. I think Kai missed an opportunity to really show us a different side to his artistry. And I think that pacing wise, maybe they could change up a couple of things that would help with the pacing of the show and match the energy of the stage that they're on. Also, as mentioned very early in the broadcast, why the fuck would they have Kai and Taemin in a project group and not have them pull out Pretty Boy from their asses? Like, seriously. Even if they didn't do choreography, if they just got on the stage and just started to grind on each other, like, give us another Internet Wars. I would take that. Just Taemin and Kai throwing off their shirts and grinding against each other. That for 4 minutes, totally a performance makes. Why did that not happen? I don't understand. So those are the points where I would change, but I wouldn't change a thing about I wouldn't change a thing about 10 stage at all. I would change very little about Taeyong's stage. I would definitely change a lot of things about Mark's stage because, like I said, it was rapidy rap, rap, rap. I would work on having a song with a stronger chorus. That way you can get the audience into it a little bit more. But I know it says it doesn't make sense to you since they already have choreo. I'm just saying, if you're too tired to give us choreo because you've been dancing all night long, just grind on each other. That's all we need. That's all we need. Also because Jonghyun wrote that song, so I think it'd be a powerful tribute to his memory for you to reenact Internet Wars on a Pretty Boy stage. So anyway, that is my rundown of my concert feelings. And I just want to make sure you understand these are my opinions. Everyone's going to feel differently. Everyone has their own idea of what is great, what's not great. But I've never been a blind stan. Not in this lifetime, not in the next lifetime, and not the lifetime before the one we're enjoying now. I've never been the kind of person to be like, everything was perfect, nothing I would change, keep on going, without there being more descriptors there. Because I feel like, if nothing else, some of you people out there, not a lot of them, but a couple of you people out there might be thinking to yourself, would it be worth my time and my money to go see Super M if they decide to do a second tour? And me giving you this rundown, I think helps you to mold your expectations. I think it helps you to make those kind of financial decisions, which are very, very important. And also, it lets you know, don't buy this fucking light stick. Don't do it. So, just saying. Also, oh yeah, also the reason why you shouldn't buy the Super M light stick is because if you own the newer version of the EXO Shiny or NCT light sticks, or even the Wavy light sticks, all of them work on the Bluetooth function. That was something I found out quite on the sly. Let me show you the light stick that I brought, because I didn't bring the big boy. I didn't bring this one because I didn't want it to get smashed in my backpack. I brought this baby right here. I brought the pacifier from Now On. This pacifier light stick was one of the first shiny light sticks that worked with Bluetooth. As I was standing in line outside the venue and the music was playing, I had the light turned on my light stick, and all of a sudden it started changing colors. Like, it was no longer shiny blue. It was like turning purple and pink and green and red. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then I look across the people outside waiting to get in the venue. All of the different light sticks from all the different fandoms were all the same color. They were all working in concert. So that's why I say, don't waste your money on the Super M stick unless you want it just for like collection purposes, or because you want something that symbolizes all the groups unified. Then you could do that if you want to. But all of the light sticks worked on the Bluetooth. Every single one of them. So whether you had a shiny light stick, or you had a Super M light stick, or you had whatever else you had, all of them worked. So why waste the money? Also, as Jazzy pointed out, after the concert was over, no wonder their light sticks are pink, because pink is the SM color. Duh. I'm like, I feel stupid now because you saying that makes me realize that, and I feel like a dummy. But yeah, being that said, do you really want to buy a light stick for SM the label? Like, really? I'm not a stan of SM like that. I mean, I'm an SM group stan, but I'm not a stan of the label at all. So that's what I'm saying. It's a decision to make. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm sure there's K-pop news we should be talking about, and I would love to, but I've done like several depressing K-pop news lives and videos from my channel. I'm ready to take a break from all that bullshit, guys. Like, K-pop has been so damn depressing. So yeah, no, I'm done with the depressing stuff. I really, really am. Also, I almost beat up Isuman. I almost forgot to tell that story. Okay. When we were outside passing out banners, I saw an older Korean gentleman in a Super M sweatshirt, like a Super M hoodie, and something in my shando said, that is Isuman. When I saw that old man, the first instinct in my body was, go find him and kick the shit out of him. But I told myself, there's no way that I saw Isuman in the crowd at a Super M concert in Virginia, because that would make no sense. I would just be randomly beating up some old Asian man, and then I would be charged with a federal hate crime. Don't do it, Samantha. After we leave the venue, on Twitter, someone has a photograph of Isuman in the crowd. Bitch, I saw him, and I could have got him for us. And I didn't do it. And I regret that to this day. At the very minimum, I should have stuck out a foot and caused him to trip and break his nose. And I could have played that off as an accident. But I was this close to exacting revenge for us. This fucking close. But yeah.
Mom's over here plotting, and I don't even know.
This fucking close. He's in the audience. All right, that's all for this live stream. I will talk to you guys later. And yes, I'm very, very glad that we had this time. For those of you who haven't been to a tour stop yet, you need to find him and make him pay. Just be really inconvenient for him. Like, throw stuff in his way that he has to bypass, spit on his shoes, trip him if you can, maybe fart in his direction, whatever it takes to let him have a miserable experience. But yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy for real. With a sick dick. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Bye.